Good morning, everybody. What's up? This is Gina Ifowe, the one and only African superstar. I'm back again with another live stream. I want to say thank you to the customers of the AfricanSuperstar.com. I have just recently released my latest collection of new swimwear. So please head over and check it out. For the ladies, for the fellas, we're still working on your part of the collection. Also, I want to give a special shout out to Bomani of Bomani Tours. I actually connected with him last night in Accra, and that was by way of a very good friend of mine, Dr. Carnita Groves, who suggested me to speak at an event. So it was quite lovely. I just wanted to give those special shout outs before I jump into this topic. And the topic is migration comes in many forms. I think it's very important for us to understand that, because many times we will be looking at maybe people that have made the move before us or things like that to the continent, or maybe just in the international community, and we will kind of begin to compare ourselves and our situation to whatever we have seen. I want you to understand that migration comes in many different forms, and most importantly, it has to do with your innovation. The reality is, when you're living in the West, there really is no vehicle provided for you to transition and go abroad. Many other countries in the international community, I mean, they basically have a lot of services available, a lot of information available for people that want to migrate to the West. But for people that are in the West that want to migrate elsewhere, there is limited information. There are certain channels that are provided, such as like military. Some people go through school. Some people do missionary work or these kind of things. And if you choose to migrate through those channels, they will kind of facilitate the move and advise you on immigration and what you need. But if you as an individual decide that you want to, move out of the West, you really, really have to be creative. But it's not for you to get discouraged. The way that I move, for instance, for many of you that may be new to my platform, let me briefly go over that for you. Big shout outs to those of you that are already in the chat room and on code. Please make sure you hit the likes. What's up? The sun is shining so bright in the window today, so I decided to wear some sunglasses for this broadcast. Yes. So for those of you that are new to me, I originally started in Columbus, Ohio. That is my hometown in America. And after many years of just kind of being frustrated with the dynamic in America and just coming to the realization that I just don't like it. I just don't like the lifestyle. I just don't like the weather. I don't like the people. I don't like the racism. I don't like how, the progression of my life. I kind of felt like I was in like a self-driving car, that I didn't have control over. And as I began to travel the international community, I found that, wow, different lifestyles in different places. And I kind of chose a different path. So I moved from America to the UK. I moved there because a friend of mine actually encouraged me to kind of investigate it. My mother is a Bermudian, and I had some cousins living in England. And, the kind of conversation kind of came up about, hey, see if you can get citizenship here, because my Bermudian cousins were able to get citizenship in the UK, through descent and so on and so forth. So, I rolled the dice and said, okay, if I'm able to get the immigration situated, then I'm going to go ahead and take this. This is going to be my avenue out of here. And it was actually quite extraordinary. I mean, I only had discussed it with a handful of people when I sent the application away for my British passport. I actually have it on hand because I recently got my Ghanaian residence permit. What? Your girl's official. Okay. There is my residence permit. Do you see it? Bam. Republic of Ghana residence permit. So once I had the passport, I decided, okay, I'm out. This is my avenue, because I firmly believe, me personally, I don't want to be in a situation where I'm an illegal immigrant. You know, it kind of restricts your mobility. I'm a world traveler. I'm a businesswoman. I need to be able to come and go and do what I need to do. So the immigration piece was huge for me in regards to going to the UK. I'd say had I not gotten approved, I wouldn't have moved to the UK, quite simply. So I moved to the UK 2017. And at that point, I began to heavily world travel, which was a reason why I went there. European life is a lot more supportive to traveling. You know, a lot of the jobs you work and stuff, they give you a lot more provision because of the location of London, for instance. It provides very accessible flights to Africa, Europe, and the rest of the world. So that was among one of my top goals of moving to the UK, was like, I wanted to travel and I didn't want to wait till I was old to do it. And I knew European life could support that. I began exploring the continent. I created my business, theafricansuperstar.com. And I decided roughly a year after I moved that I was going to go ahead and transition directly to the continent. Because, you know, there is this what is it called? Romanticizing that goes on when we talk about moving, you know, going to different locations. I see people out in the diaspora, they even do it. Oh, when I get to Africa, Africa's like my heaven. It's my place of peace. And in as much a lot of that stuff is true, you know, a lot of that stuff is true because of perspective. When you get to the continent, you're going to face problems. Okay. You're going to have unforeseen things happen. It's human life. Okay. It's not as if this is a utopia. So I did have a bit of that romanticizing when I moved to the UK because of the media, because of what I thought I knew, because of my travels there. I felt, okay, you know, I'm going to have a better experience here than in America. And in many ways, I would say that is 80% true. You know, I left America for a myriad of reasons. Among some of the top reasons was the racism. You know, the racism just got to be too unbearable. And I decided that I really shouldn't be subjected to it. And I was also worried of becoming a casualty of either police brutality or just random violence in America. I was concerned about my upward mobility. I was concerned about my social life, my love life, my future. And I couldn't see any way that it was going to change. So I moved to the UK, you know, with aspirations. Let me see how it works in Europe. Let me see if I'm able to create a more comfortable lifestyle. And, you know, I think by the time I moved, I was just tired of white people. I just got to say it, guys. Because it's just the truth. And so basically, in as much living in the UK was better than being in America, in my opinion, I still was just fed up. I was just fed up with the whole Western system. You know, there were some similarities because of the white people, you know, how they are is worldwide how they are. I don't feel that I should have to answer to certain people. I don't feel that I should have to explain myself to certain people. I don't feel that I should, you know, miss out on opportunities because of people's inbred stereotypes and things like that. So, you know, a lot of those kind of psychological things were very much still at play. Some of the more superficial, shallow things were a bit better or whatnot. So I decided a year after I moved, okay, you know what? We're going to go ahead and segue to the continent directly because I wanted to be around my people 24/7. I wanted to be in the warm weather. I absolutely love the sun. You know, I wanted, you know, I have a certain vision for the family that I want to create. And, you know, this is the place for me to manifest those things. I tell you this long drawn out story because I really just want to inspire you. Until I had moved in this method, I didn't know anyone else who had moved in this method. Okay. I didn't have any peers that had resided in America and chosen to move to other countries. You know, like I mentioned, I had family from Bermuda that was in the internet. You know, some of them go to Canada for school, some of them go to uh, London for school, you know, England for school and things like that. But the actual path that I took, I didn't know anybody. I still don't. You know people that kind of pivoted out of the US to an alternative location and ultimately landed here. So I created a different way of migration that suited me. Also, some people, you know, they have huge families. They have big families wherever they choose to be. They have networks. They have all this stuff. I didn't have any of that. I had to create all of that. I needed streams of income to support myself here in Ghana. I had to create all that stuff. So you guys, you know, don't be discouraged from the circumstances that you have specifically in your life, because migration comes in different forms. In my case, I first came to Ghana in 2016. Okay, it's 2021. It took me a whopping 4 years, you know, from my first visit to actually be able to stay here. And you know, you guys modern day have it a lot easier than some of us who have kind of been interested in the continent, you know, for several years or traveling here, because you have a wealth of information, you have people on the ground, you know, you kind of have a lot of tools to strategize your move. But a lot of us, we had to do things trial and error. You know, it took us a lot of money, it took us a lot of time, it took a lot of travels. You guys are going to be able to kind of circumvent some of those things because of the information that's now afforded to you. So migration comes in a different form. And I also want to say with this message, it's not for you to judge anybody else's path, because we have a bad habit of doing that. Okay. What I choose to do as the African superstar, it may not suit you. Okay. There are some people that ask me, you know, questions that I really can't answer for them. I can direct them to people that I feel are more qualified or and can identify with their circumstances. You know, I have people that have retired contacting me. I have people that have children, you know, or families. I have people that have, you know, brick and mortar businesses abroad and things. I can only share my story. And that's what this platform is about. That's what YouTube is about. That's what social media. People are just expressing their stories and sharing their experiences, and you can, you know, deduce different elements and then kind of piece them together to cultivate what is going to work for you. You know, I think a lot of times, a lot of you are in far better situations to pivot here to the continent than me. You know, like I said, many people have a lot of assets to help them with this transition. Some of you guys, you know, some of you guys are service people. You get veteran benefits. I mean, I say anybody who has consistent, you know, foreign income. Okay, so you're receiving, you know, money from Europe. You're receiving money from America, Canada, Australia, whatever. You've retired. You got a pension. You got life insurance, you have dividends, you have property. I mean, once you have that steady income, that's a half the battle. All right. Then others of you have partners. You know, you have husbands or wives that want to go on this journey with you. You know, you don't have to kind of wade in the waters all by yourself. You know, some of you guys are even African, you know, migrants. I always think it's mind-boggling when I hear other Ghanaians, for instance, tell me, you know, how are you living in Ghana? And I'm thinking, like, you have family lands, you speak the language, you grew up here, you have family here, and you can't somehow figure out how to live in Ghana? Or you can't figure out how to live in Nigeria? You know, now I do know, you know, in Nigeria, the political climate is really intense. You know, they are suffering some pretty, you know, intense circumstances there and things like that. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of you guys are in much better position than me. You know, some of you guys are entrepreneurs. I mean, you already are operating businesses in the West. You have clinics in the West. You have shops in the West. I mean, you know, so every migration, a smart migration is going to be tailored to the individual and to whom it pertains to. Okay. You may not need to pivot to another country. You may be in a position to go directly to the continent. I wish I could have saved those 4 years that I spent, in the UK or whatever, and just have come directly to Ghana. I wish I was focused on Ghana in my early 20s. Instead of trying to matriculate in America, I could have been putting my efforts here and I would have it made. Some of my age mates got it made over here because that is precisely what they've been doing for the past, 2 decades or whatever. So yes, this is an important message I wanted to give out to the family. I see you guys in the chat room. Big shout out to you guys. What's up? What's up? What's up, family? I hope you guys are good. Please make sure you hit the likes if you are in the building. I see all of you there. Good morning. Good morning, family. How are you all doing? What's up? Good to see you all. Yes. So I see many of you guys in there doing your job in there. I'm not going to do shout outs. This is the morning. This is not a call-in show. Okay. I know it's early for you guys out there in America. I'm actually supposed to be at the gym. I don't know if I'm gonna make it today. I don't know. We kicked it hard last night. For any of you guys that's on my Instagram, you saw I went to an event last night and I saw several acquaintances and made some more, and it was a long night last night. So I don't know. I think I might just take an African superstar, personal day and hit the gym back on Monday. So yes, indeed. So that's just the topic, basically. I really just want to communicate with you guys because I see a lot of our peers, and I don't know why we are so much like this. We want to copycat what everybody else is doing, even to our detriment. Even when we know things are not working, even when we know things are not suited for us. I mean, the best example I can give you is like, a woman who is like, let's say my size. Okay. So I wear like an extra large. Okay. So it would be like me trying to put on a size small dress. Okay. I think every lady, this is going to be the trivia question. I think every lady has seen another woman who is wearing maybe something that's not really flattering for her body shape. If you've seen that, let me get a number one. Okay. Sometimes you have women that they have very big breasts and, their breasts are like jumping out of their clothes. Their clothes are not fitting properly. Sometimes people's clothes are so tight they can barely move, or they struggle to walk in their high heels because they don't fit well, or they're too big, or they're too small. We've got to get away from this concept of whatever the other person is doing is what we need to do. And we need to uncover what it is that we need. For some people, because I think all of us kind of know, we all know some coons, right? Okay, second trivia question. This one's for everybody, not just the ladies. Second trivia question. We all know some coons, right? We know some Black people that are super white. They are more white than maybe even the white people we know. And for them, Africa it's not on the horizon. The food is going to be too spicy for them. The music is going to be too loud. The sun is going to be too hot. The African clothes are too loud, and they don't like the kente cloths. They don't, what I'm saying? Some Black people, this is not going to be the place for them at all. But you as an individual have got to identify what your personal needs are and figure out where that may be available or how to obtain them. those of us that grew up in America, all of us heard that America is the land of, go ahead and complete it. If you know that statement, if you've heard it, America is the what? The land of what? Who's going to get it first? What's up, guys? If you're here, please hit the likes to my early morning live stream. Every migration is not the same. Okay, everybody's migration is not the same. And it doesn't have to be. The one thing that you want from your migration is success. Okay? Okay, we got a couple answers here. Milk and honey. Okay, I'm looking for one word. One word. One word. America is the land of. Who's going to get it? Who's going to get it, guys? Off Grid is asking. I lived in the UK for 3.5 years. Yeah. I moved to the UK August 1st of 2017, and I moved in September. There we go. Bam. Big shout out to African Superstar family. The land of opportunity. Okay, so we grew up in America hearing this, I mean, redundantly. It's actually, it might as well be like the mission statement of America, because that is what it is known as globally. Okay, so we grew up in that setting, and some of us came to the conclusion, I'm not happy here. You know, and I'm not actually able to manifest my dreams, you know, for one reason or another. Some of y'all is lazy. I don't know which ones of y'all, but others of you have really tried and applied yourself to your life, and you weren't able to get ahead because of systematic racism. That's why. That's why some of you. Sorry about that, guys. So, you know, you've got to determine what it is as that you as an individual need and want, and go for that. And I find that for me, you know, for the elements for me to be most productive and most happy and less triggered, it's for me to be here in Ghana. You know, honestly, I've even toured the, you know, other places on the continent. I love the other nations I visited to, but Ghana is the place for me. And that's cool. It may not be for you. It may not be. Some of you guys might be more of a Gambia person. Some of you guys might be more of a Nigerian person, or Kenya, or Tanzania. You know, Tanzania is a very popular place for a lot of diasporans. You know, you might be a South African person, or Zambia. You know, there are many options for us to choose. If you're in a position, go and see the continent and then decide. You know, if you're already resolute, then go ahead and start making your moves. I wanted to make sure that I didn't have any unanswered questions about my positioning here on the continent, which is why I toured some other nations. You know, it made sense for me to come to Ghana. I have networks here in Ghana. I love Ghana, and I love the culture, and I love the lifestyle. And most importantly, the people embrace me. You know, as long as I've been associated with the Ghanaian community, they have been embracing me. You know, they have been seeing me as one of their own. And I can tell you definitively, there is no sensation like living in a place where you are wanted and welcome. I'm never going to hear here in Ghana, you know what, go home. You don't belong here. You know, in as much I was born and raised in America, I cannot foresee anybody telling me that I don't have origins here and that I don't belong here and I'm not welcome here, you know. And that's the reality of what we experience in the international community a lot of times. People always want to hit us with that, you know, even though theoretically, you know, we have access to their documents. We are born and raised in their countries, and we've contributed to their society, paid taxes. But yet and still, if we express any, you know, any discontentment with how things are going, they tell us to what? Go back to Africa. You know? So big shout outs to the African Superstar family. Thanks guys for um okay, I see a couple questions in there. So let me answer a couple questions for you guys before I wrap up. Z1 wants to know, how am I handling my mailing from the US, UK, from banks and etc. There's a few ways that you can actually go about it. In regards to my banks and things like that, I have online, you know. In this modern day age, you can get the apps and stuff like that. So I opted to have digital, you know, correspondence and things like that. So if anything goes on, my banks will email me. Now, consequently, my parents still live in America, so I have my permanent American address in America. In regards to the UK, I just shifted everything that I had, my banks and things like that, to online. Now, there are some services. I think they're called like, you know, there's some services about boxes, mailboxes that you can get. I know my sister utilizes one in America, and basically, they will provide you with a physical address to ship your parcels or have your mail sent, and then you can arrange how often to have those things then shipped over to you here on the continent. I can't recall what they're called, but they are, you know, you can probably look up like foreign mailboxes or something like that. I know they have those kind of services where you can get them. And ultimately, I mean, a lot of Africans, what we do is we will travel, you know, maybe once or twice a year to different locations and then, you know, get goods and things like that. Or if you have friends going abroad and coming back, you know, one of the African Superstar family members, Miss Aquila, on her recent trip to the US, she went in, I believe, February. And I reached out to her and asked her, you know, if she could carry some things back for me. So, you know, that's how we have to be a bit creative with how to facilitate it at this moment. The postal system here in Ghana is, it is, you know, kind of not, you know, widespread. So there, every home does not have a post office box in regards to getting your mail every day and things like that. Sometimes they will send them to the actual locations of like UPS and DHL, and then you'll have to pick them up, or you can organize with a courier to take your goods around. So I think that's also another opportunity for people that are coming in to kind of expand those services. It will be a gold mine. You know, if somebody can figure out how to do direct shipping from the continent straight to the West and be able to do it quickly, you know, if people could do like airmail or things like that, I think they would take over the game. I mean, you know, because a lot of people here, you know, want to shop and get certain items from abroad, and they're not able to get them. And then consequently, those items here for sale are imports. So they're going to cost more. So, you know, there's certain brands of food, you know, maybe snacks or drinks or alcohol, you know, if you want the American brands or the British brands, they're going to cost you more. So there's a lot of opportunity in that. But anyway, I hope I answered that well for you. All right. Big shout outs, African Superstar family. What's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah, there's PO boxes, Skin Deep, but there's something else. It's like a I can't think of what they're called. I can't think of what they're called. I wish my sister was around. I would ask her. But yeah, there's these boxes. Basically, they have like a physical address in America. I know my sister, the one she uses is in Las Vegas. And basically, if you're shopping online or whatever, you can have your mail sent to this mailbox, and then maybe like once a month, they're going to ship it to you here in Africa. I can't think of the name, but you can Google these kind of services before, you know. Yeah. I'm just looking through to see if there was any other questions before I wrap up today. I see y'all was talking in here, huh? Oh, Off Grid, you made a great. Oh, look at you! Look at you! Look at you! You are correct. My name is Gina. It's Jeena, the one and only Gina Ifowe. So yes, you have a pretty good memory to remember if it was Gina or my proper spelling. So yes, that's also a word to the wise of others of you that want to know. I don't usually make a big fuss about it because I just can't be bothered. But yes, my name is Gina with the Jeena, and yes, you are correct. So yeah, that's a good point. I mean, they do have some door-to-door services, but like for like large items. When I moved here to Ghana, I took with me 5 big, barrels, and that's how I moved. I put all my stuff in there that I wanted to bring, and I shipped those things, and they actually go by sea. So it took a month, but it's a door-to-door service. So they picked it up from my house in Northampton in the UK, and they brought it directly to my place here in Ghana. So it was quite nice and quite wonderful. I was really happy with that experience. Obviously, like I said, a lot of African people definitely they know about the door-to-door service. So if there's no more questions, guys, I'm going to wrap up today. Again, like I said, this message is just to encourage you on your unique migrations. Don't measure yourself against other people, because, we all have different paths. We all have different circumstances in our lives and things like that. So the main thing is just be effective and be successful. Make sure that when you get here, you can sustain yourself, that you can, or you might have the model where you kind of do, because my original model was just to be here half of the year. Originally I was going to come and spend 6 months here and then do 6 months in England, for instance. But when coronavirus came, I said, okay, we about to revise this, because if they shutting borders and all this kind of stuff, I just want to be in Africa. I just want to be there. So I decided, you know what, we just going to go and we just going to roll the dice, but my method was half and half, because I felt if I could do half and half, I wasn't going to miss anything. I was going to be able to get whatever I needed from the West. I was going to be able to get whatever I needed from Ghana. I was going to, experience both lifestyles in a year and all that. But right now, it's just kind of too risky for that kind of model, in my opinion. So I choose to be here. But some of you guys, that might be how you facilitate it. If that works for you, so be it. You got to cultivate your migration and make it count, make it work for you. Okay. All right. So I'm about to go. I hope you guys have a good day, and, keep striving, keep working hard towards your goals to get here to the continent. Just keep driving at it. That's all I can really tell you. Those of you that have been with me on this platform, you know that it has been a long journey for me. Years it took before I got here. But fortunately, like I told you, the main key is being successful in your migration. Okay. Some other people was doing a whole lot of talking, and they got here and they couldn't even keep themselves together. They couldn't even sustain themselves. So yes. Yeah, there's no restriction on passports here. So if you hold multiple, citizenships, you can, I mean, as it is currently. I can only say as it is currently. Things are ever changing. So you have to figure it out, maybe at the time that you're going to do it. I do know there are some countries that do not allow dual citizenships. So if you're going to take citizenship in their nations, you're going to have to surrender the citizenship that you already have. Other countries, and I mean, I'm going to say this, and I have an intellectual crowd, so I'm gonna need y'all to read between the lines. I just want to say that for the record, your existence is not um, internationally linked. Okay. And so what that means is every country has their way of doing things. They have their own banking system, they have their own identification numbers. And basically, if you don't provide extraneous information, they don't know. Huh? So I hope you guys are able to deduce what I'm saying. So if you are someone that's holding multiple passports, there is no universal system. It's not like they're going to know, okay, this person has citizenship in Belgium, America, and now they want it here in Ghana. No, they don't know. If you tell them, they will know. If you don't tell them, they won't know. And it's just as simple as that. Use your resources and your accessibility for your benefit. We as Black people have been really, really groomed to give all of our information all the time and be obedient and adhere. You know what I'm saying? And that really doesn't work, does it? It doesn't really work. So that means you have to be innovative. Okay. Do not provide extraneous information that's not required. Okay. That's what I'm going to say about that. So I'm glad you understand what I'm saying. Mr. Uganda, how you doing, sir? Yes, exactly what I'm saying. I'm glad you guys were able to understand what I'm going to say. I'm not going to ever, encourage you to do things that you aren't comfortable with. But I feel like, look, don't ask, don't tell. That used to be the policy in the American military. You just communicate with them whatever they need to know. All right, nothing extra. Because how exactly are they going to know that you have 2 other passports? How are they going to know that unless you tell them? Us Africans, we know it well. We know this system well. Some people have passports here on the continent and then they have a foreign passport. When they go to that foreign country, they use, so let's say I'm going to England. I'm going to use my British passport, right? Because that's going to give me entry to England. All right. Now, consequently, when I use this passport to go to the United States, I have to have a visa. So at that point, if you have the American passport, you would use your American passport to go to America. Okay. Now, let's say you also have a Ghanaian passport and we are coming here to Ghana. Okay. You're going to use your Ghanaian passport. So you don't have to get a visa to come to Ghana. Or if you want to go anywhere in West Africa, any of the ECOWAS countries, you would then use not your British passport, not your American passport, because those passports are going to require visas in all those West African countries. You're going to use your Ghanaian passport, your Nigerian passport, your Sierra Leone, et cetera, ECOWAS. Okay, so guys, read between the lines. Okay, I know critical thinking is not really promoted in our culture, but we've got to start. You got to be creative to make your reality happen here on the continent, because like I said, the system is not designed to help us with this transition in any way. The last thing they want for diasporan people is for us to move back to Africa. Do you really think if they wanted us gone, they wouldn't get us gone? Do you see the great extent that they go to, for instance, to prohibit like these Middle Eastern people from coming? Do you see the extent that they go? Some countries, they have trade embargoes with them, which means they won't import or export any goods, like Cuba. Okay, if they really wanted us gone, if they really wanted us out of there, they would have already made it happen. They would have already made it happen. So what that means is they want us in the positions that we are in. They want us there. They're absolutely capitalizing on us. And they don't want us to be in any kind of position where we can elevate ourselves and our people. No. That is why there is no channels, no official channels of how we can have accessibility to the continent. That is why we have been restricted from media and knowledge and history about the continent, because they don't want us to know it. That's why they shut down your African Superstars platform, because they don't want you to know it. So what that means is, this was a very long drawn out point I had to get back on. Don't ask, don't tell. These foreign passports, the only thing that they are good for us is, the accessibility and the resources. We need to use them to our benefit. Okay, we need to use these things to our benefit. Period. Some people have asked me the question, Gina, would you surrender your foreign citizenships? Well, no, I wouldn't. I don't actually have to, because I was smart enough to put myself in a position to have all. And if you pay attention to what was happening back in COVID times, it wasn't that long ago, guys. It was just last year. And it's still ongoing. But if you paid attention to COVID times last year, guys, it should have been a wake-up call to you. Okay? It should have made it very evident how useless these things really are. Because actually, they were shutting borders. They were saying, yeah, we're not taking any British citizens right now. We're not taking any American citizens right now. Okay, you couldn't even get into Africa with your British passport, with your American passport. That's a whole different topic. But when you get here to the continent, I briefly touched on it on a previous video. It's very imperative that you also solidify yourself here. Okay, don't just come and be rolling on the visa. Don't just come and be rolling on your residence permit. Solidify yourself here on the continent, because the day could come when they all start saying, you know what, all the British get out the country. You guys have the new variant of COVID or whatever they create in the future. You have the new variant, all y'all got to leave. And then what? If you don't have citizenship here on the continent, you don't have legal rights to be living here, what are you going to do? Okay, you got to see the bigger picture. They don't want us to make this happen. And as it becomes more and more of a trend, they will begin to restrict and ultimately just, prohibit the whole thing. Those of us that are doing it right now, we see the window of opportunity and we're trying to really utilize it properly. But don't think for a minute, because some of you guys are very law-abiding citizens. You're like, Gina, no, they can't do that. They can do whatever the hell they want to do. They can do whatever the hell they want to do. I had a video on my previous platform. Look, y'all done got me started. Whose fault was this? Whose fault was that? I think it was Off Grid's fault that got me talking. I was trying to wrap up. I did a video, probably over a year ago about Cuba. Okay, So you guys remember, briefly I don't even remember how long it was. It might have been a couple years or something like that. President Obama opened up Cuba. Okay. And when Trump came in, Trump then revoked the travel to Cuba. Okay. If you guys remember when Trump came in, he was doing all kind of travel related stuff. Okay. He did, I think he started rejecting, who was it? He rejected travel to like Yemen or something like that. He like shut down travel to some Middle Eastern country, and it was like chaos because there were a lot of people that were out on travels. They were there, they couldn't get back. I remember seeing an article about a basketball team that had got stuck over there because Trump had he did like an executive order to shut this travel down. He also changed the travel to Cuba. Some people were affected. I remember some people send me emails like, I had a cruise booked to Cuba and now there's no more travel permitted between America and Cuba. See, y'all don't think far, as we say here in Ghana. See, I think way ahead. My mind is already in like 2045. Okay. They don't care about the laws. The laws can change to suit their interests, guys. Hello? There's a lot of laws out there that's not supposed to allow what they do to our people, but it still goes on. So don't think that you safe with this little here passport. Don't think. See, y'all's visual, so I got to show y'all. Don't think this. They can do whatever they want to do and change it up anytime. Okay? So what you need to do, however vehicle you're going to use to achieve your process to get here, do that expeditiously, be effective, and realize, these Western nations, they don't have the parameters that you think that they do. You think they're going to go by the Constitution. You think they have to go through Parliament. Well, Gina, they can't just do that. They can't. Oh, yes, they can. If 2020 didn't teach you that, I don't know what it's going to take. They can do whatever they want to do. Yes, they can. So, yeah, I think that was off grid. She had me, going. Big shout outs. Laws are bendable. Facts. That's right. Aphrodisiac. Good point. I've thought about it and it slipped my mind. They also revoked visas to Nigeria. He said, oh yeah, we got too many Nigerians overstaying their visas. So we about to just, shut it down. They can do whatever, guys. They are not bound. Okay. Stop seeing yourself as a British. Stop seeing yourself as American. I had the conversation with you guys the other night about being Black first. Okay, being Black first supersedes all your connections and affiliations. Okay, I may hold foreign passports. It doesn't mean jack. Do you feel American? Huh? Do you feel privy to all the opportunities in America and England, France, Germany, wherever you hold a passport? Huh? Or are people still getting shot down in the streets? Are people still going through systematic racism? We got to be real here. And utilize our access to these nations for what it's good for. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, Aphrodisiac. She broke down all the countries. But yes, he did an executive order and it was crazy. It was crazy. Because I think some of those countries reciprocated and said, okay, well, if you ain't letting us get visas, then we're not also going to let Americans come. And it was, I remember it was chaotic. Yes, Kamisha Ross says we are Black. And that's how we're going to be treated. Facts. Guess what? Guess what? Look, my superstar thoughts and opinions. I lived in the UK, right? All y'all know that, right? Trivia question. I lived in the UK, right? Number 3. I even hold a British passport, right? When I go to England, they say, "Oh, well, you're an American. What are you doing here? How are you here?" I lived in England and I carry a passport in England. But they saw me as something else. American. All right. In America, they don't see me as American. They see me as black. Here in Ghana, you feel me? We're black first. You should be black first, whatever you're doing. Okay. Whatever you're about. All right. So look, y'all got me talking. This was supposed to be, this always happens to me. This always happens to me. Supposed to be a 30-minute live. Okay. And here we are an hour later with the African Superstar family. I spoil y'all, man. I spoil y'all. I spoil y'all. Don't ever say I don't. Don't. Okay. Because I do. I give in to you guys every single time. Okay. But really, I wanted to bring this. I wanted to bring this to you because, you know, it's important. It's important for you to be realistic. You can achieve it. You just need to be innovative. Off Grid says, do they call you Akata in Ghana? No, I've never heard it. I've never heard it. Akata seems to be a big deal to Black Americans in America. I personally have not, you know, the thing that sometimes you might hear here in Ghana will be Obroni, which means, you know, white person or foreigner. That is basically like a general. I mean, it's even given to Ghanaians that have been abroad that have come back. It's not just indigenous to, you know, a Black American or a white or whatever. So personally, I personally have not had a contentious encounter with Africans here on the continent. You know, me personally, and this is true. Akata is from Nigeria. That's a Yoruba word. It's not something that, I mean, I think most Africans in this region will understand what it means. Okay. If you go out to Kenya and you start saying Akata, no. You know, we've got to understand as well, there's different languages and things like that. Yes, Akata it's a, you know, it's a Nigerian word. It boils down to, I think, wild dog is what it means. And it's been referenced, you know, obviously to Black Americans and things like that. But again, I think, you know, I was in Nigeria as well. I didn't encounter that attitude. The dynamic that happens in America between, you know, the Black Americans and the African migrants, that dynamic is different here on the continent. There's a lot of different factors that go into it. And like I said, people here are not malicious towards, you know, contrarily in America, you're going to see, you know, Black Americans that will tell Africans, you don't, you know, go back to your country. You don't belong here and stuff. But I've never heard that here, living here. You know, I've never heard a Ghanaian ever say, you don't belong here, go back to your country. You know what I mean? It's a different mentality. Even though we are seen as foreign because of the way we talk and the way we dress, they still identify the fact that we have origins here. You know, and that'll usually be the way that we are interacted with. Now, it can be different from country to country, and things like that. I can't speak on behalf of all the nations, just the experiences of the 6 countries that I've currently been to. But yeah, no, I've never ever been called that ever. Mr. Uganda says Mzungu, and Mzungu means white people. You know, foreigners. That's the Swahili word. So Mr. Uganda is breaking it down here because obviously there's going to be different words. Like I said, here in Ghana, the word is Obroni. You know, to refer to that. And then if you go to Kenya, they speak Swahili there. So Mzungu is going to be the word used in that case. So yes, Mr. Uganda brings up a great point, because obviously people in the West that don't know a lot of depth of the continent, they see Africa as single dimensional, and that's not how it is. There's different languages, different cultures, different things. One African is not, he can't be represented for all of them. There's a lot of similarities, but there are differences and different languages. So I'm pretty sure if you go out to Uganda and you start asking people about Akata, they're not going to know what you're talking about. If you ask them about Obrani, they're not going to know what you're talking about. I bet if I ask a Ghanaian what does Muzungu mean, he's not going to know what I'm talking about, okay? Because it's different languages. It's different things like that. So big shout out. That was a very good point. Off grid, boy, you got so many questions today. What y'all trying to do here? I mean, dang, off grid's like, nah, you ain't about to end this live. Nah, I got 5 more questions for you. When it comes to this, naturally, yeah, you will get the foreigner price. I have some strategies on how I cope with that. A lot of times when I don't go to the markets often, like on a daily basis. I kind of go to regular places that I go. So like, for instance, there's a place on my road where I get my fruit, and they have the set price. I don't have to, we've already established what it's going to be. But if I'm going like places like the market, like when I went to Makola market to look for fabric, I typically try to go with a Ghanaian, or I'm very quiet when I go shopping and I try to listen to the prices that are being given, or I ask people, I can ask my taxi driver, hey, how much should that cost? Also, something that a taxi driver taught me when I first got here to Ghana was, when you see people on the roadsides, you shouldn't ask them how much. Okay. So if you're in traffic and you want to buy a drink, you want to buy some snacks, you shouldn't ask them how much it costs. What you should do is try to, either listen to them giving the price to someone else, or maybe you can ask your taxi driver, how much should this cost, or whatever. And what you should do is just give them the change. Okay? Because I try to do the transactions without as much talking as possible. So if I'm in traffic and, for instance, and I want a drink, okay, I'm going to, here in Ghana, we hiss at people. So you can either hiss or you can blow a kiss to get somebody's, attention. So you can go, or you can go, okay. Look, y'all trying to break it down today. I don't know why y'all is on that. It's early in the morning for y'all out there in the States. So anyway, I will hiss. Usually I hiss more than kiss, but I'll kiss if the hiss doesn't work. So I will hiss. She'll come over. And because I know how much it costs, I'll just give her the money. Okay. And then I'll get the drink. And we don't even got to talk. You see what I'm saying? Or you can also learn the language. Okay. And then when you go to the market, you can, ask basic questions like, how much does it cost? Or, you have an idea what you want to pay for things, because if you start talking, they're going to give you the crazy price, offer it probably. Okay. When they hear your accent. So you need a price point to understand, okay, you know what? When I go to the market, this is how much these things should cost, or even sometimes I've been at the market and I've seen things and I've texted my friend. This is why it's important to have local friends, and integrate. I'll text my friend and say, hey, is this a good price? And they'll say, oh yeah, that's a good price. Or no, they're trying to overcharge you. You know what I'm saying? So there's multiple different ways to skin a cat in that respect. Okay. All right. So, oh my God. Hey, Mary Ansa. Medo why. Medase medafupa. Off grid's asking about clothes. Okay. First of all, this is going to be an answer. Don't feel any type of way. This is an answer for the African Superstar. Okay. I have lots of clothes. I'm actually going to show you guys something today. Hold on, let me see here. It's going to let me do it. I don't know if it's going to let me do it. Let me see something. Nah, it's not going to let me. Okay, I'm just going to show you guys something really quickly. Okay, so a lot of times you guys see me taking pictures with these back here. These are my custom wardrobes that I got here in Ghana. Okay, these are my custom wardrobes, and inside is packed with clothes. Okay, this is all, you know, I shipped all these things from the UK. I've only bought, you know, a few things. This is where I keep all my African Superstar clothes, guys. You see them? Look, you see the star? There we go. Yes, these are all my African Superstar jackets. Yes. See, here we go. Okay, so basically I shipped a lot of clothes. Okay. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a superstar. I have places to be. I got, you know, I haven't really bought a lot of clothes since being here in Ghana. You have the option of getting tailors to make your clothes for you. And they also have lots of shops. You know, they do have malls here, and stuff like that. There are secondhand shops, but if you want new, you know, something brand new, you can go to the malls and the stores. There's lots of stores, you know, with things like that. So clothing is really not a problem. Now certain types of clothing, like, you know, plus size, if you're looking for specific items, you know, if you want the new Louis Vuitton 2021 ready to wear, you're not going to be able to get all those things here, obviously. But clothing, you know, in my personal case, I shipped my clothes. So I shipped a lot of clothes. You know, I have a lot of clothes. So I'm not really, I haven't really had to go shopping, to be honest. I have bought myself some African dresses. I have bought myself some kente cloth. I don't think I have bought any shoes since I've been here. Mr. Fifi bought me a pair of sandals. That's it, sandal wise. And yeah, you know, I bought, literally since I've been here, I've bought probably maybe about 10 dresses, maybe. I love dresses. If you guys don't notice, whenever I'm in pictures, it's rare that I'm in, you know, trousers. I probably haven't even worn a pair of jeans since I've been here in Ghana. I hate jeans anyway. They're not really comfortable for me. But once I moved, I used to have to wear them in the UK because it's cold. But here, I don't wear jeans. I usually wear dresses 95% of the time. So I probably bought about 10 dresses since I've been here. Probably about maybe about 5 of them were African print dresses. And the others were just kind of like little party dresses that I found. So yeah, okay. All right. Y'all got the questions for me today. I can't. Kamisha, I went to West Hills Mall. Yes. It is nice. I've been there, I've been to West Hills once. I've been there. She's here in Ghana. So if you guys are like, where's West Hills Mall? It's here in Ghana. She's here in Ghana. So yes. All right. So I think I'm done now with y'all, for real, seriously. Because y'all is just doing whatever with these questions off grid. All right, family. Anyway, I will talk to you guys again very soon. Also, don't forget our Superstar videos. Also, don't forget, head over to the website. I got some new gear out there, some new swimwear. Big shout outs to the customers, AfricanSuperstar.com. Ingrid, when you watch your playback, your items shipped out today. So for the rest of you, Avanti and Terry, and Aisha, your items will either be shipping out today or tomorrow. It's quite a quick process with the swimwear. So please head over to the website, get on our mailing list if you're not. That way you'll be updated with the new collections and things like that. So until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true.